Hello and welcome to America's Lighthouse State for a USL League One showdown that promises to be a thriller. The Portland Hearts of Pine playing host to Texoma FC tonight with crucial playoff points on the line. Fitzpatrick Stadium welcoming you inside of the venue. I'm Gabriel Fry, Eric Dobransky here with me, and we're excited to bring you all the action. We'll get started by flashing over to the latest table for USL 1. And look at this, Portland is well above the playoff line, and they've got a lot of points available left on the table. A different story for Texoma, who's under that red cutoff.
Yeah, two teams engaged in two different battles within the standings. Portland Hearts of Pine in the thick of it when it comes to a potential top four finish. So can apply some real pressure on FC Naples and Spokane Velocity tonight after a match like against Texoma, and Texoma are playing on fine margins. They need to maximize points from this match moving forward.
Absolutely. First ever season for these two sides, so they've only met once in club history. Flashing it back to July, watch this. Quick feed down the touchline. Wada's got it. Masashi looking to feed that down inside. Takes a nice step to the end line and buried. And that was the difference in this one.
And that was the early goal that doomed Texoma. And it was a match that saw them control possession, but were unable to create that breakthrough needed to equalize.
Second ever meeting between these two sides tonight. Let's take a look at their form since that meeting in July. 6 wins for Portland Hearts of Pine. In fact, they're unbeaten for almost 60 days straight right now.
And on the flip side for Texoma, it's about finding that defensive consistency and complement to what has been an explosive attack. But since that meeting, they've only taken 7 points from 10 matches, and Hearts of Pine have collected 21, only falling once, and scoring 21 goals in that span as well. So they have been dynamic.
That's a tall order. Let's take a look at our players to watch. First, for the Hearts, Ollie Wright. He's been electric. It feels like he can do no wrong this season, and he's even better at home at Fitzpatrick.
Such a commanding attacking presence, showcases such recognition in his dual role on the field, can be that playmaker, that goal scorer, but also that instigator defensively is going to be impactful to his side's ability to control the tempo tonight.
And the player to watch for the Red River side, it's McManus from Louisville, Kentucky. He's been really good this season, and Coach had a lot of great things to say about him this week.
He's a player that's just stacking performances. He'll spearhead this front line for Texoma. His off-the-ball movement is going to be key. The ability to generate space higher up the field, and it's going to be his blend of game-changing behaviors as well.
Both of these clubs bring so many superstars to the pitch. A big crowd brewing in Maine for this one. A USL League One showdown that's going to leave some crucial points in the back pocket of one of these clubs. Don't go anywhere. When we return, it's Portland Hearts of Pine and Texoma FC, all on ESPN.
Hey.
Hey.
Allagash White for you. Can I get you a beer?
Yeah.
Let me give you a minute. What you thinking? Choose one.
I'll go for Allagash White, too.
Nice. That's my go-to.
Start your night with Allagash White.
Welcome back to the Pine Tree State and inside of Fitzpatrick Stadium. Today's USL League One battle presented by Visit Maine. Portland Hearts of Pine playing host to Texoma. Let's meet the starting lineups for these two sides. First, Portland's Hearts of Pine.
Wada and Washington providing that sustained threat in both build-up and in counter-attacking moments is going to be crucial. Kamara, right, we mentioned in the open, winning the wide areas was something that Bobby Murphy was very high on when we spoke to him earlier this week, and something that they're going to want to look out for.
And the 5-3-2 being run by Adrian Forbes. This is a look at their side.
Spengler leads this team in goals and consistently finds a way to impact matches, and Javier Garcia in goal, guiding this collective in what the game presents and how they manage and structure dealing with those transition moments from Portland Hearts of Pine.
And we're almost ready to go in this USL League One battle. Crucial points on the table to be taken by one of these sides. Two very different stories for them as well. Portland is looking to push themselves well into a secured and clinched spot. Texoma fighting to stay near that line and stay alive. Gabriel Schrei, Eric Dobransky, glad you're here with us at Fitzpatrick Stadium in Portland, Maine. This is going to be a really good one.
Gabriel, I think when you're playing in front of a crowd like this, you almost assume that the energy and the urgency is going to be there, and it's going to be there. But for Texoma, you're playing a team that is playing with so much desperation, and for Portland Hearts of Pine, can you match that? You have a team that is playing for their playoff lives, and they know that anything besides 3 points is not good enough. And so this is a playoff match for them. So for Portland Hearts of Pine, can they match some of those moments? And obviously over this 23-game season thus far, they have proven to do just that in both boxes. But Texoma is running out of weeks to get themselves into playoff positioning, and they are fully aware of that.
I think that's a great way of looking at it as we're still kind of feeling this out, roll into our second minute. Two very different situations. Those points are so crucial. The Hearts of Pine have to be comfortable. They haven't lost. They're unbeaten in almost 60 days. It dates back to August 2nd. And Portland takes this away, skying it down to midfield. Texoma pulling it back down for a moment before it's chipped through to the center of the pitch. Washington floated it over. Now down towards the wing. He's cutting to the inside in front of the area. The Hearts floated to the backside and he misfires. A perfect opportunity for our player to watch, Ollie Wright.
And you could just see how quickly this Portland Hearts of Pine team climbs the field, and they do it collectively. They do not do it in isolated moments or in just groupings. They do it as an 11. Starts with the goalkeeper playing out, and then your ability to put yourself in progressive, positive situations, and that is what that man, Ollie Wright, has done throughout this season.
Ollie Wright came to Portland from MLS Next Pro's Huntsville City FC. Two standout seasons there in a row, originally from the United Kingdom. He's been a great piece. Hearts at midfield, see this knotted back by Valentine. Taken down by Hearts of Pine and rolled to the back line. Keeper was coming out to greet that for a moment before it sails off over the touchline. Red River State enters this match 6-11-8 overall, 9-4-10 the Hearts of Pine. Long floater over the top is going to be sent away, and Hearts watch as it rolls off for goal kick. Flicked across, long delivery to midfield is stolen away by Texoma. Well played by the Red River side, and he is absolutely leveled. Took a shoulder hard. Perkins still on the ground. Hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, heavy coming together here along this right side. Going to see an early free kick for Texoma. After we find out if both these players are able to continue. Obviously Perkins being helped up now. Set pieces are an area that when you get this late into the season, It's those finer details. It's those little moments that come to define matches as we take a look at Adrian Forbes.
Messer back up, good to go. Glad to see that both of them on their boots. Messer is going to suffer the yellow card, his 7th of the season. To deliver the free kick, Ozzy Ramos, originally from Modesto, California. He's been a great facilitator this season. We'll see what he can do midway through our 5th minute. The delivery bent right down in front and nodded away immediately by the Hearts of Pine. Floated back over, too much sauce as this one is off for goal kick.
Anytime you're playing a team like Texoma that is trying to not only create momentum but sustain that momentum, you want to limit opportunities that they're able to throw numbers in your box and flood those areas, and those dead ball restarts, those free kicks, corners are prime opportunities for Texoma to look at, to take advantage of.
Flicked long in the intercept by Valentine. Reed Valentine is somebody who has such a high motor. 2 great plays early, breaking up opportunities for Portland to push that through as this sails off.
And scored a goal last match against Westchester. A match that, when you look at the playoff picture, you look at matches like that for Texoma, you score first. You score in the 51st minute, Valentine scores. You've got to be able to see that match out. And unfortunately for Texoma and Adrian Forbes' side, they were not. But they are still right there, nipping at the heels of teams that are above that playoff line. So they have everything right in front of them with these 5 matches to play. It just becomes almost an extended playoff for them.
Long throw in, delivered right into the area, rattles around into the air and taken down by the Hearts for the moment. And they're going to be able to clear this away from their back third. Expertly played defensively. Take a look at our keys to this match as we're midway through the 6th minute, and efficiency in the boxes and managing transitions, the 2 that we're going to keep an eye on for these 2 sides.
Well, for Hearts, you'd mentioned it just a moment ago, that second wave of attack, being efficient, making those plays when they're there to be made. And for Texoma, managed transitions. They've been a team that has been electric going forward, but now when you get dispossessed and you give your opponent the chance to break big lines of pressure and kind of go at you, can you have structure in those moments, in those moments of chaos, some havoc, and own your role as a first defender?
Perkins, originally from Detroit, Michigan, throws in long, nodded towards the sticks and cleared. The Hearts watch as this rattles and rolls off of the pitch. It'll be thrown back in quickly by Portland. Ollie Wright leaves it for Nathan Messer. He's been super involved this season. Came from Rhode Island FC. Won the Eastern Conference title there. Calfo gives it off at midfield. 2 quick feeds, and Texoma going to air this out. Long ball over the top just beyond the wing. Inside for the Red River side. Flicked back down into the wing again. Left side of the area. Floater to the back, and a little too much as Perkins tries to put it back down near the spot. Loose and gloved easily. Well played by Hunter Morse, and Hunter Morse has been so good this season. He was a 2023 Super Draft pick by FC Cincinnati. Spent 2 seasons there and was very effective. Originally from the state of Michigan as well. Played for Michigan State Spartans and the Broncos of Western Michigan University.
And a big piece to what has seen this side find so much success this season. You talk to any coach in any league, and it's all about being dominant in the moments you need to be in both boxes. You can't score a ton of goals, but also concede a ton of goals. I guess you can, but you have to find, I guess you have to find a way to outscore everybody every match, and that can get stressful in its own right. But when you have this collective ability to be effective and influence both sides of the ball, you not only find the the moments to make game-changing plays, but you find that sustainability that all clubs are looking for. Game in, game out, you know how you're going to affect the game. You know how to adapt to matches. And this is what both these teams are going to have to do. Good break here.
Hearts of Pine, long delivery, dribble, 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 looking for that last pass, knifed around a defender and taken away as it's chipped just beyond the reach of Messer. Texoma got it to midfield, expertly done by Texoma as they respond to a Portland rush.
And this is some of the initial plays that will come to define how this matchup is played out, because you have Nathan Messer joining that attack to join Wada out in that left flank. You get dispossessed. Now, how does Texoma go about punishing Hearts in that moment? Your outside back, your outside defender has left and vacated that area. Can you then move defenders? Can you move Portland Hearts of Pine and create space for yourself to go forward? Unfortunately, that play ended up running out of space, but still good initial play from Texoma. You have to like the tempo that both these teams are playing with right now.
Perkins cuts to the end line, down in the corner. Looking to finesse this over the top, and now working it backwards. Chipped away, well done by the Hearts. I want you to watch 77 next time they're down in that final third. If you're not familiar with Wada, he's an electric piece, and we discussed highlighting him as our player to watch. He's number 77 for Portland, and he's been so good this year.
Such a menace to back lines.
That's a good way of putting it.
Just because of just this relentless running. We talk about recycled runs in this game so much, and he is a player that if he doesn't like spaces, he's going to go upgrade, and that gets frustrating to deal with as a team, as a collective. You're always trying to pass him off. You're trying to screen a pass into him, and you have to account for it for a full 90. And this is a Texoma side. I mean, when we talked to Adrian Forbes earlier this week, I know jokingly a little bit, he said, we're going to be exciting either way, because we're either going to score a lot of goals or we're going to concede a lot of goals. And obviously, with the clear intent that this is a group that has all of the qualities to make that playoff push. But now it's about putting a complete 90 minutes together in both boxes, scoring the goals that they've been scoring. But they've conceded 48 goals on this season. That's second most in USL League One. And that's something where, you know, that is not just a back line, that is not just goalkeeping, that is not just midfield. That is a collective.
A little bit of danger for Texoma as they're able to withstand it, and now taken away by Punan Jerome. The man from Santa Cruz, Trinidad and Tobago, pitched to the far touchline, working it down to the final third, long feed, and the shot goes wide. Well wide as we played a dozen minutes between these two sides and still scoreless. Another great looking rush though for the Hearts, and those are going to become more and more dangerous. The Red River side is going to have to find a way to change this. Take another look. Great feed, great opportunity. It does go well wide, but that's where this one's going to break open.
Yeah, it looks like it takes that deflection. You get an early corner. You can see how purposefully they are playing through and wanting to transition on Texoma.
Portland is good on these set pieces. Nathan Messer will deliver. Bonnie's loaded up down in the area. Hearts, the floater, backside and gloved expertly down inside by Javier. No injuries reported entering this matchup between the Red River side and the Hearts. Everybody's healthy and available.
Exactly where you want to be.
Disrupted. Portland over the top, and Wada sees it gloved away by Garcia. What a delivery by the man from McAllen, Texas. Javier is able to just disrupt that.
Big play coming off of a casual turnover in the bill. You have that deflection right there and lining up to just clip this over the top.
Fingertips by Javi Garcia. Nathan Messer will deliver again for the Hearts. And now we've seen two in a row on these set pieces. That's somewhere that Portland is dangerous. Nathan Messer. Shouting to bodies buried down in the area as our referee is trying to do some politicking down inside here with Garcia and Kelfo.
Yeah, Messer, quality delivery the first time. You just want to get more bodies in and around Garcia on this delivery. Make him have to fight through some traffic.
Messer off the signal. Hartz floated across, and Javi Garcia gets it done again.
Almost same exact location as the first delivery, and still no action in and around Garcia. He was able to find this highest point and play out of danger. Let's see how Texoma counter punches here. Obviously, Portland Hearts of Pine being very deliberate with the pace that they're playing with when they regain possession. They are not playing sideways, they're not playing backwards, they are trying to find that immediate outlet to go forward. How do you minimize that threat? How do you negate some of the channels and areas they can play into initially?
Nodded off immediately as we played a quarter of an hour, and we're deadlocked and scoreless between these two sides. The USL on the CBS Sports Network closes out September with a championship Western Conference showdown of teams in the thick of the playoff hunt. Watch it all. New Mexico United take on Lexington in a battle for valuable points. That's tomorrow, Sunday, September 28th. Watch it all at 6 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. That's going to be a really good duel. Floater through Portland. Hearts of Pine, Washington turns back. Doesn't like all the pressure from that Red River side. Texoma retreating. Hearts have a chance again. Dribble, dribble, dribble to the edge of the area. Looking for that last pass and an excellent dig on the tackle away.
And good support defending as well. They are absorbing some of that pressure from Portland Hearts of Pine. That initial pressure going into the final third, but doing a terrific job of collectively getting back behind the ball, making it difficult, not biting on some of these passes and some of these 1v1 opportunities.
So a nice spot for the kick as Javier Garcia will come out and handle this himself. Super involved in the early stages. Keeper played for Rio Grande Valley FC's Academy in 2017, played collegiately at the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. Signed his first pro side contract with that Rio Grande Valley side in 2021. Played for El Paso Locomotive in 2023, and just ahead of this season, made the jump to Texoma.
We've already seen him do a terrific job of commanding his box on those corners. As you see the long throw.
Nodded, rattled around, it pinballs through, and Texoma can't take it away. Hearts able to flick this one down towards midfield as it rolls off.
I think what's going to be fascinating is you already see the possession numbers trending in favor of Texoma. Do you kind of, if you're Adrian Forbes and Texoma, do you want to see those kind of even out? Get back to that thought in a minute.
Long feed for Texoma down into the area, battled through, stays with it, cutting to the end line, and this one off the side of the twine.
And good pressure there, good deflection. Now you earn a corner. But going back to the possession, do you want it to even out just a bit? Because that just showcases Portland Hearts of Pine ability to break that line of pressure and go quick and kind of be front-footed in those transition moments. Do you want to kind of see that possession number even out? Because that means they're playing backwards.
Teddy Baker bends it short, and it's hammered away by Portland. Baker's got an assist already this season. He's been great dealing the ball down inside, scored 3 himself as well. Perkins will take it up along the center field circle. Great floater for the corner. This one's inside of the 18. Battle on the end line, and he wants the call from that AR. He won't get it. Our officials for today's match: your referee, Alex Beeler, Eric Schreiner, Brian Canetta, your assistant referees, and Stern Bream, the 4th official. Cool kick for Hunter Morse. He's developed really well. He was a super big piece for FC Cincinnati. He played for their 2s in MLS Next Pro. shut a lot of clubs down. Had a couple of big standout performances in his time in MLSNP, and he looks good here. Hearts back out front and cleared away from the edge of the area by Texoma again. Portland going to reset quickly. Michel pushed it down the touchline. Long feed for the corner. Taken up by those orange kits down on the goal line. Flicked back to the edge of the area. Long floater. Titus Washington pushes it down inside and kept away from Ollie Wright. Expertly by Texoma.
Clever little knockdown there. And right now we're just seeing plays met by other plays. And offensively, Hearts are creating, but they're being met by good defensive plays from Texoma. And that's, for Adrian Forbes, what you want to see early on in this match. Now you need to see that continue. And what also needs to continue is your ability to defend these corners.
Ollie Wright floated across, loose, and he tries to nod that on. It goes way over the crossbar.
And 3 deliveries, 2 from one side, and then now from this left side, and seems to be in the same general area. Now you get that late entry. You almost get ahead on it, just unable to put it on frame.
Javier Garcia will put us back underway. You can tune in on CBS Sports Golazo Network on October 4th for the Jägermeister Cup final. 38 clubs down to 2. Group 1 winner Sacramento Republic taking on wildcard Hartford Athletic at 10 p.m. as this one sails off. That's 10 p.m. Eastern on October 4th. It's their shot at a Jägermeister Cup and all of the glory. Watch it on Golazo October 4th. Hunter Morse put us back underway. He's been surprisingly involved, but not deflecting shots. He's just, lots of goal kicks so far.
Yeah, he hasn't had to come up with some of the saves that Javier Garcia has come up now. Obviously, the one big one that Garcia's had to come up with was the turnover in the build. But for Texoma, I like how involved Teddy Baker is right now. He is making himself available in the build. Anytime he sees a teammate in trouble, under pressure, he's becoming that outlet. Now for Texoma is that second, third, fourth phase after that initial pass. Can you find the other side of the field? Can you access some of that space in behind, especially when Hearts have those players in that attacking half and have a lot of that space vacated and left available?
Titus Washington started to walk inside, and our referee Beeler wants a moment to check on the man who's down, David Mason. Mason's from Maryland, originally from Bethesda. Ready to go. Nice chance here as well for Portland. Watch for a long potential throw-in. This is Muhammad. Calling for some help, and the quick delivery short on the edge of the 18. Floated over to Wada. Masashi locked up on the end line, and no initial signal, as this will be goal kick.
You're not only going to hear it from Wada, but you're going to hear it from this fan base as well. They wanted to see another corner. Bobby Murphy had obviously spoke to us so highly about this fan base, this community, how they've integrated themselves so well, but also the knowledge of the game that this fan base showcases, their ability to read moments, momentum shifts. Says this is not just a crowd that just kind of floats within the 90. They absolutely feel the ebbs and flows of matches and when they're needed, when they need to inject some energy.
JP ripped it forward. Long feed across into the wing. Dribbling his way into the area. Pass near the spot, deflected away. What a save by Hunter Morse. Incredible work by the keeper of the Hearts. Long floater out to midfield. Reed Valentine wants to keep it going as he went forward to Ramos. Quickly down towards the close sideline. Up that wing, left off by Spangler. Fed over the top and nodded away. Beyond the area, Texoma tries to hammer a shot. He is tackled down perfectly by Portland. The second one, though, immediate whistle from Beeler. That's a lot. Wada's still down. Take another look at the scoring opportunity that we had just a moment ago. Watch this. Texoma cutting it inside. Great feed. Absolutely blistered on goal by Teddy Baker, the midfielder.
Yeah, he's reading this game extremely well. What spaces become available. And that save for Morris, you're fighting through some traffic. I know it looks like a routine save, but you're fighting through your own defenders being in front of you. And we get that tackle right outside the box, and that second one is the one that catches the attention of the center official. It's good to see Wada back up.
Masashi's such an important piece. You can hear the crowd erupt, and you mentioned how important this fan base is to this club. Coach talked to us about it, Bobby Murphy. He says it's everywhere in town on game day. Up the Harch is on all the digital signage in town. It's on the front of businesses. It's everywhere. And in my game notes today, Eric, I'm telling you, I think this crowd could play an impact down the final stretch of this match.
Oh, 100%. And I think that's why, and in no way am I saying being on the road in the playoffs is going to hinder Portland Hearts of Pine. But that's why that battle for a top four in a playoff match, in a home playoff match, I mean, bring a playoff match to this fan base. I mean, not only is it going to come to define how this match gets played out, but my goodness, have an opponent come here, that is a daunting task to come in and get a result.
Ramos did suffer the yellow for that hit, and it's his 10th of the season. Hearts of Pine, Texoma FC, 27th minute. Glad you're with us on ESPN. Gabriel Schrei, Eric Dobransky having a blast so far. This has been a really good duel.
It has been. I know for a 0-0 game, I mean, this has provided all the action and excitement that we thought we were going to get from this game. We knew we had a Texoma side that is scrapping and battling to get themselves in that playoff picture. And then this Hearts of Pine side scrapping for a top four finish, and obviously have been on a tremendous run of form.
Just a super different energy brought to the same type of situation where you really want those points. One is born from desperation. I like to call them luxury points. I know that's probably a dirty word for somebody who has so much experience coaching and playing, but you know, you don't have to have them to get above that playoff line, but you want them, and you want them bad.
Yeah, and for Hearts of Pine, I mean, you're sitting at 23 matches played, so 2 less, so you have games in hand. See, a little bit awkward play out of the back here. But it does also equate to a bit of a congested end of the season when you head towards the end of October.
Yeah, if you missed it during our open, we'll have the table again for you with live standings at the half. Congested is an understatement. It is like a crowded bus downtown. You are fighting for space, trying to slip ahead by a point or two. This thing is going to come down to the wire. Messer tosses this in on the edge of the area, gathered by the Hearts, blasted down in front and gloved by Javier. Garcia looks great early.
Yeah, he's sharp, and he's had to be. He's had to command that box. He's had to organize everybody. And you have to imagine, and obviously Adrian Forbes had touched on this, that their structure defensively is priority one in terms of managing matches, making sure that whether it's the other team's in possession or transition moments, that you are collectively not only recognizing your role, but then executing that role. And thus far, Texoma has been terrific. I don't want to say bend but don't break, but they have flexed in some areas, and they've been able to rebound in terms of getting good support, winning some duels, some important duels. But now, how does that now help them grow in momentum off the ball, or sorry, on the ball, And we saw it a few moments ago with that Teddy Baker opportunity. I mean, they are finding and picking some quality moments to go forward.
I think our number one concern entering this was that Portland is able to counter so well as they're in the middle of doing it. Ollie Wright trying to gather this up and get a quick feed off for a teammate. Will maintain possession, but Texoma successfully fends him off initially. Long delivery down the sideline, pitched back and forth. My point there, though, is that Texoma has looked good on the counter, and that's not something we thought they were capable of. They bend, they don't break, they counter quickly. They've created some chances off of that.
Yeah, 100%. I think they've done a good job of being adaptable and interchangeable in their movement, and that's something that Portland Hearts of Pine are so good at. I mean, you see it already. Wada drops in, Ollie Wright finds higher ground. I mean, their multi-dimensional nature is so difficult to pick up. And Texoma has done a good job of influencing service, influencing those entry passes. Now, Hearts of Pine are still finding some good looks. I mean, you mentioned just a moment ago, Javier Garcia being terrific thus far, and he's had to be because of Hearts of Pine, the opportunities that they're creating and some of the areas they're occupying in and around the box. I mean, they are asking a lot of different questions. Just Texoma's up to the task right now.
Muhammad, the man from Portland, other Portland, I should say, Oregon. Long delivery, rattled around through the air and sent off. Muhammad's been a frequent choice to facilitate from the touchline today early. You know, the set piece game has been really good for Portland this season, not so strong for Texoma. Is that something that could become more and more dangerous throughout the course of the match for Texoma, or is it just going to stay consistently something they're able to hang with?
I think it's definitely, to your point, I think it's something that can become a big asset for Texoma, because the more and more you've grown in this game, and I mean that with confidence defensively, because right now their structure has been very good. They have been able to squeeze those channels, make it difficult in moments for Portland Hearts of Pine. But then we saw it with the early free kick they earned in this first half. We've seen it a couple of corner kicks. They are very opportunistic on some of these free kicks, as now we see a yellow card issued.
And I believe that's shown down to Adrian. And he can't believe it. I can't believe it. He's emphatic, trying to plead with Beeler and this officiating crew. I could see he's pleading, please, he says, and I'm surprised. I'm not sure what's happened here. The coaching staff is saying there's something that's happened behind us. It looks to me like they're saying a fan has done this, and another yellow flashed against the bench of Texoma. Back-to-back yellows by Beeler and company. 32nd minute, we're well beyond the half of an hour mark now, as Beeler is beating up on the bench of Texoma FC with yellows.
This is such a strange sequence of events, because there didn't seem to be any sort of loud play that would have initiated any sort of verbal comment from Adrian Forbes, unless he was kind of suggesting something from past. But they are clearly trying to draw the attention to something well behind their bench.
Long feed off of that awkward sequence as Garcia takes it down. And we mentioned it already once, but you and I both have a ton of respect for both of these head coaches.
Oh, absolutely.
Bobby Murphy, great guy. Adrian, great guy. They're a joy to talk to. Love getting on the phone with them and talking about the game. And surprised to see that.
Yeah, and within that dialogue, they pick up a second yellow. So it was definitely an odd one, and one that you hope that doesn't come to, you know, obviously there are yellow cards to the bench, but you don't want to see any of the coaches or the staff sent away in such an intriguing matchup like tonight, in any matchup in general. But as an outsider, you have to like the pace of this game. You have to like the energy. You have to like a lot of the progressive thoughts and initiation from both these teams. So you hope that everybody's able to stay involved in this game and manage it accordingly. Obviously, going towards 11 minutes left in this first half. So both these teams will make some adjustments talk about what they're seeing. But you have to feel like both these teams are fairly pleased with what they've created and what they've minimized.
Well, and I think Portland has, with the Cards, unintentionally, even if they didn't do it right on the pitch or the staff didn't do it, the crowd here, the environment has taken the temperature and turned it from 90 degrees to 100 on the thermostat for Texoma. These were already extremely crucial points for the course of their entire season. It's one of the toughest matchups you're going to play on the road all year long. You're on a road swing on the East Coast already. You're coming from Westchester. You're so far away from the Red River down there between Oklahoma and Texas. You're on this long road swing. Now you've got 2 yellows to your bench in the first 3/4 of an hour. 100 degrees here inside of Fitzpatrick.
You're absolutely right. And in no way am I trying to put words in Adrian Forbes' mouth in terms of what the result would mean, but you come into a hostile environment like this, and obviously he was very clear about they're coming to crash the party. They want to come and get a result. But you almost think that at 0-0 the break, come back to that.
Twin State team puts it through, and he's taken down on the end by Morse. Morse gets out, gets after the ball, and both clubs pleading for what they want on the call. Obviously, 2 very different ideal results. Take another look and make the decision for yourself. Watch the long pitch. That's a great feed. Just a little long. He almost put it on his right foot.
That's absolutely right. It's that touch right there just puts it out of reach, and you're asking a lot for the center official to make that call.
Luke McCormick nearly gets that last pass as Hunter Morse does it again, looking good early. Both keepers have been lights out in front of this big crowd.
Just going back to Adrian Forbes really quick on this side, I would dare to say that going 0-0 into the break would have been a script that he would have been perfectly fine with, because now you have 45 minutes. Obviously, there's still plenty of time in this first half. I'm not trying to just jump to conclusions, but you make some adjustments, and you feel like you have 45 minutes to go at this team.
Hartz, pitch it down inside. Wada teed it up for Ollie Wright, sent into the air and cleared away expertly by Spangler. Great strike of the ball by Texoma.
I was almost going to say broadcasting jinx there with the opportunity that Portland Hearts of Pine just had. Talking about going 0-0 into the break.
Eric, it's a real thing, Eric. It'll happen. Garcia pulls that down in our 37th as we are still deadlocked. And Perkins will get us started again. A couple of great opportunities. Portland this time loses it off as Texoma will restart us. Possession has been about even through this first half. The dual success rate is literally deadlocked at 50% apiece. We're close to 50% on aerial duels. Intercepts is favoring Texoma so far, but other than that, this thing is close, close, close.
And I think the possession numbers is something for Adrian Forbes and his group is a positive, because that means that Portland Hearts of Pine do need to have that initial pass that resets possession. That initial pass is just not always going forward and breaking lines and forcing Texoma to sprint back and get behind the ball. It does mean that they're having to play the ball backwards. They're having to play Morse. They're having to reset through the center backs. And I think that's a good thing. Now going to the stats that we're kind of looking at, you see final third entries, 33 for Texoma and 22 for Portland Hearts of Pine. But 9 of those 22 entries have turned into touches in the opposition box for Hearts of Pine. So efficiency is the name of the game for them. As soon as they hit the final third, they're making sure that they are fully engaged in flooding that area and creating some opportunities.
Coach told us to watch for the overload.
Yep.
And it feels like it's working, but not paying off. Does that make sense? Like, he's getting it down there. What they've drawn up on the whiteboard all week in training is working. It's just not resulting in scores. And you'll hear coaches week in and week out, hey, we deserved to score and win that. We deserved to score there, and we didn't. First half, I'd say that Portland Hearts of Pine had deserved to have scored with all the pressure they put on and opportunities and chances they've created.
And Bobby Murphy emphasized that, yes, within a structure and a playing identity, he wants his players to have full freedom in the final third. And that's something that you look at this first half, it just has not quite come off or clicked in some of those big moments. But that's where at the break, those players get together. You have those small conversations. You have those, you identify some of the pockets of space that do start to develop, and you problem solve, you collaborate. And that's something that Bobby Murphy is high on, his team's problem solving in those moments where there's limited space.
Ozzy Ramos, a decent spot for the kick, sent long, and this one is knotted off over the end line for another Hunter Morse goal kick, as we've got just over 5 minutes left in regulation on our first half of action. This is going to be a Toms of Maine corner for Texoma FC. Again, Ozzy Ramos selected to deliver the set piece. I like that opportunity from back near midfield. They turn that into something. Not only do they turn that into a real opportunity, they've created a second set piece and opportunity off of it.
And now you're going to get this left-footed in-swinger.
Ramos floats it across, and this one goes straight into the air as we're blown dead by Beeler. That's a beautiful Select ball they're playing with, and Select proud to be the official match ball supplier of USL, from the Academy to the big league. Select is there every step of the way. You can visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, it's the player's choice. Got a Select ball on my desk in my office. Knotted through Washington. Great chance. Hartz. This one is lasered and skies off of the pitch over the top.
And a big touch into space for Washington. Showing that purpose, that intent. You see this. Just runs out of space in terms of the angle of that take. And obviously Javier Garcia had that near post well covered. But you just continue to see the variety within this Hearts of Pine attack. You see individual players making plays in different moments and really exchanging willingness to run off of each other. If it's not Ollie Wright getting on the ball, it's Wada getting on the ball, and it's Ollie Wright dropping into space and creating that space, or Washington. There's so many players that commit to that movement off the ball that you're not always going to see the ball come to you, but it's movement that opens up space for others.
Played down the touchline just beyond the wing. Floated long over the top, and Ollie Wright watches as this is batted away by Garcia as he dives onto the ball. Great effort again by Javier, playing some keep away with Ollie Wright. He has been a menace in that final third. Probably hasn't got to touch the ball as much as Portland would like, but Washington has picked up the slack where Ollie has not been able to get free down there. Titus Washington, 4 goals this season. He's been super involved in that final third. Number 14 in orange. Just finished collegiately in the NCAA at Seattle last year. Transferred there from Sacramento State. Here comes Masashi. Perkins keeps it away from Wada. Teed up and nodded into the air as Texoma is trying to put together some sort of possession in midfield. This will be turned the other way by Portland. Hartz, long feed down the sideline. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Knifes his way into the final 18. Looking, waiting. Chipped off toward the end line, and the foot race won again. Michel tries to go to the edge of the wing, and it's broken up by Texoma. The Twin States team takes it away, down low from the end line, slides and blockers that. Floated across, knotted on goal by Wada, and Ollie Wright will regather. Great chance for Portland, they keep it alive. Messer cuts his way to the 18, out front, penalty arc, fired through traffic and deflected away. Regathered and hammered as this goes over the top and into the fans standing behind the net.
And this has been a bit of a flurry to end this first half from Hearts of Pine. We already suggested they were asking a lot of questions, but now they're asking questions with a lot of numbers, and have numbers in the half spaces, in the wide spaces, centrally. And they are occupying some areas that Texoma is going to have to deal with. For right now, they're just going to want to see this first half out.
Garcia puts us back underway with the long ball. Rattled around. Hearts pinball this to Wada. Masashi across to right, and it's an errant feed. Dangerous moment ended initially by Texoma. The Hearts are going to have to reset on the center field circle. Throw-in coming for Texoma as we've nearly played 3/4 of an hour between these two sides. At the half, we'll have highlights, full stats, a look around the league, and of course, the table in a close USL 1 race to the finish line. Stay with us for all that action. Rattled around on the throw-in. Collected again by Ramos. Ozzy flicks it backwards and behind midfield. Turning to keep it away is Reed Valentine. Blasted out of his possession. Titus Washington leaves it off deep. Fed inside and pinballed away expertly by Texoma. What a play defensively, as we're going to get 2 minutes of stoppage time on half one. 3/4 of an hour in the books already. We're halfway through this match. Long feed, great counter by the Red River side. Fed inside and hammered long over the top. What a chance. Brandon McManus, our player to watch for Texoma. He's scored 5 times already this season. Watch the great feet. Rolled, flicked right to the penalty arc. Absolutely smacked it. Not saying that Hunter Morse wouldn't have made the play there. He's in position. He's got the athletic ability, the reaction time. But if that's between the sticks, that's an absolute laser.
Yeah, and a player in McManus that is coming off scoring 2 goals in that 3-3 draw against Spokane Velocity. You want to put that on frame to your point. Maybe Morse makes the save, but you want to make the goalkeeper have to make a save. But terrific box-to-box action in this match. I mean, you go from one big defensive play where it's almost 2v1 and you're in on Javier Garcia. How quickly the narrative of that play changed. You go down the field for Texoma and you have that McManus chance.
That was the best 60 seconds we've seen from Texoma thus far. Long ball, Morse is alone with it. We played 90 seconds of our 2 minutes of called for stoppage time. Probably time for another rush from the Hearts as Morse puts it down to Washington, and we won't be seeing that as Texoma will take over on the kick. Javier Garcia will come out to handle this. Texoma. Whistle could sound at any time on our first half in stoppage time. Long ball for Garcia. Nodded backwards, and that will send us to the locker room and whiteboard time between these two sides after an electric first half. A track meet inside of Fitzpatrick between Texoma and Portland Hearts of Pine. Somehow we're deadlocked and scoreless as possession is about even, and so many exciting moments in that first half.
Yeah, for Texoma, stay locked in defensively. You saw just a moment ago, defense leading to offense. And for Portland Hearts of Pine, that final action, upgrading when it needs to be upgraded, but also executing in that final third.
So much great action coming up in our halftime show. Stay tuned as we return. We'll have a lot of great things to look at. The table, the highlights, the stats, and so much more around the USL. Scoreless after one half of play between Portland and Texoma. Don't go anywhere. More USL 1 action coming next on ESPN.
Sounds low. Great. So elbows back.
Most homeowners have it somewhere in their house. It's that one bad window. It's drafty, or maybe it sticks or leaks. You'd love to replace it, but think, no company is coming out for just one lousy window. And truthfully, most companies won't. But we're Renewal by Andersen, and we'll replace just one window. Call Renewal by Andersen today for a free window and door diagnosis. 207-804-4500.
When you really care about good, you start seeing possibilities others might miss. Hannaford has been at this since 1883, supporting local farmers and making quality food affordable. Turns out, it's possible to take care of people and the planet we share by going the extra mile for what really matters. See all this good? At Hannaford, it's the small moments of care that add up to make a big difference for all of us. Hannaford, all for good.
This is you. When you sign up for Trellis Health, this is your team. Seriously, these people. At Trellis, your primary care provider, physical therapist, pharmacist, health coach, and behavioral health clinician work together for better results. With same-day visits and 24/7, 365 telehealth, your care is primary with us. Become a member today.
Welcome to Trellis Health.
Visit trellishealth.org.
Back inside of Fitzpatrick, where we're scoreless at the half. Your halftime show presented by Hannaford. Portland Hearts of Pine exists to do as much good in the state of Maine as possible. Soccer, the perfect medium through which to do that work. It's universal language. It goes across cultural bounds, class boundaries, and more. It's a cultivator of joy, camaraderie, and common identity. Through soccer, the Hearts are combating isolation, they're combating loneliness, and creating opportunities for countless positive outcomes and helping the next generation develop social and emotional skills. Take a look at what the Hearts of Portland have been up to this season.
Our impact programming is our why. It's our reason for being. It's what we're here to do. The Hearts of Pine exists to make an impact in Maine. This club is our way of doing as much good as we possibly can in the city and state that we call home.
It's always, I think, important to give back to communities, but doing it in an intentional manner and literally being extremely unapologetic about the values and the principles when it comes to the sport is just amazing to watch.
It's just so exciting to have a club that's built around Maine, that's built for Maine, that is a reflection of the people that live here.
This is Portland's team. This is Maine's team.
This is the community's club. This impact programming, it looks anything from after-school programming to donation programming to infrastructure investments in courts just like this.
The Portland Soccer Project, it's an after-school soccer program that's about social emotional skill development. It's about how we behave. It's a soccer program that's about way more than soccer.
Kids are learning themes like let it go and accountability and how to find joy and things. And some kids that have had a harder path with things have really shown here.
Portland Public Schools are thrilled to be able to be part of the community ticketing program with Hearts of Pine. We've been meeting with Hearts of Pine since well before they officially launched, but when they reached out and said they'd provide a block of tickets to every school in the district to allow students who wouldn't otherwise get to go attend a game, we were thrilled and super grateful.
I think people forget that when you are in a shelter, you're in a caged environment where you don't have room to play or to be human or to experience community in a different outlet. We did not anticipate the happiness that would come from just them playing a sport that they are passionately involved in.
The way that the world, the way that this community rallies around this game, the way that it unifies, and the way that the club can lean into those things and amplify them, that's where the magic's made.
We want people to see themselves as more than just where they're coming from, but just a part of something bigger.
We have 20, maybe 30 home games, but what are we doing in those other 340 days?
hard for that. Ready? Yes, to the Jägermeister final.
Sacramento sweep the penalties. Sac Republic make another indomitable run to a cup final.
Wait, come back! Wait, come back, I need more help.
Take a loan off take a loan for free.
Today we went to the beach and it was totally worth it. Get double points this fall at Best Western.
Among finds the corner. He ties it up.
Line through Cicerone. What a banger. Oh, good night.
Back inside of Fitzpatrick, it's the Hannaford halftime show. Scoreless, deadlocked, a draw at the half between Portland Hearts of Pine and Texoma FC. An exciting first half of action. Let's take a moment, step around the country, and look at what's going on in the USL right now. These are the latest news and notes. Bell Tower Partners is in. Welcome, Mr. Lee. The new USL Vice Chair is part of a partnership with Bell Tower Partners. USMNT Star has invested in the expansion club in Fort Lauderdale. Welcome, Reina. Excited to see that and big belief in the league.
Yeah, it just continues to add to the growth of the USL Championship, USL Super League. Obviously, Fort Lauderdale United creating that USL League One side. So excited for that moment. And Mark McKeever announced as South Georgia Tormentas head coach, somebody that I'm very familiar with from his time at Young Harris, and somebody that is very familiar with USL League One, leading One Knox.
And speaking of familiar, there's some familiar faces on the team of the week, which we'll take a look at right now. A couple of guys playing in our match right now. Masashi Wada on that first team of the week.
Yeah, Wada, that hat trick against Richmond Kickers, that 5-2 win. And Bazzini for South Georgia Tormenta had 2 goals in that match for Marky McKeever and his side, that 3-0 win over AV Alta, which was a huge win, put them over the playoff line and 1 point ahead of AV Alta thus far. So these games continue to be such fine margins and big results and big plays from performers like this.
And only one match in the books so far this weekend. We'll take a look at that result and also what's coming up the rest of the weekend. Last night, One Knox held on at home against Charlotte Independence. That was a fun match. What else you have looked forward to today? 4 matches at 7 p.m. Eastern. Some of these are super important to the table, and 1 at 9 o'clock.
It almost seems like you can go to sleep tonight and that the standings will be completely different.
Really?
Because,
yeah.
I mean, 3 points are at a premium. I mean, you look at an FC Naples and AV Alta matchup. I mean, that's huge. Spokane, Greenville. I mean, everybody is battling for 3 points, and you almost feel like, not that draws are off the table, but you're going to see that extra push from a lot of teams to collect all 3.
And before we go on, worn by registered Maine guides, families walking rural roads, and sportsmen and women throughout the state's vast wilderness, Blaze Orange has long defined Maine's fall season. Camo often masked identity. The Blaze kit, though, it reveals one. A jersey rooted in place, woven with heritage, and elevated into something that works on forest floors, fashion runways, and football pitches. Worn by Hearts of Pine for the very first time today, the striking Blaze kit is available now at Hearts of Pine's online store.
The crown of Maine, where life moves at the speed of the seasons. Up here, we've got the freedom to live quiet or to live loud. It's the kind of place that sets your heart ablaze. Friggin' right, Bob.
At LL Bean, we've been innovating for over a century, making great products better so you can feel better. Day after day, year after year. Outside together since 1912. LL Bean. Be an outsider.
I'm David Libby, President and CEO of Town & Country Federal Credit Union. At Town & Country, we work hard to make a difference every day. From providing a first auto loan to that young adult just starting out, or making the dream of home ownership a reality with a mortgage offering closing costs well below nearly every other local lender, or a Visa credit card with a great rate. Town & Country Federal Credit Union is local people helping local people. Let us help you.
Soccer, more than any other sport, brings together fans of different backgrounds, different cultures, different communities, and makes them one community.
Has anyone ever seen anything like this? It's magic. There's no other word for it. It's magic happening here in Portland.
This is history. This is momentous.
We officially have professional soccer in the great state of Maine.
Half a really exciting first half. 3/4 of an hour of regulation are gone. They're in the books. 3/4 of an hour left to play in what promises to be a duel right down to the wire. These two are hungry. 3 points. One side is desperate. How will it all boil out? Glad you're with us from inside of Fitzpatrick. Crucial USL League One showdown. I'm Gabriel Schrei, Eric Dobransky here with me, and we're glad you're along for the ride as this one starts with a quick whistle.
Similar to the start of the first half, Early free kick earned, and something that parlayed into a good segment of 10-15 minutes where Texoma had good momentum. They were playing well on both sides of the ball, in and out of possession, and all derived from an early free kick. So see who gets on the end of this. It looks like Ali Ramos, like Teddy Baker was going to line up early on.
Ramos will deliver. Beeler shouting out to the players along the edge of the 18. Prime chance for Texoma. So we're just 60 seconds into this second half. Ramos floats it through, and it's nodded away initially as the Hearts hammer this one out through midfield. Great clearance by Portland, sitting back inside of their own 18. They see that coming. They expertly read it. You know, that's what I was talking about in the first half. That's not even a set piece for them, but they play so well aerially. They win those set pieces when they're on the other end of the pitch, able to defend them effectively as well.
Yeah, first contact is everything in those moments. Can you influence, impact what that second and third wave looks like? And they've done just that. I think the fascinating part for this second half is for Texoma, that human element. Defensively, you want to stay structured. You want to be so difficult to break down, but you need a goal in this game. You need to open yourself up in some moments to go chase down an opportunity. So you got to be very delicate in choosing those moments.
Lopez pitched it across. Great opportunity in the 18. Loose out to the penalty arc and cleared away by Texoma FC.
But you also don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're absorbing pressure for 45 minutes. You want to make this a balanced game. You want to make Hearts of Pine feel some sort of threat. You see a yellow card.
Mikey Lopez gets booked, his 11th yellow card of the season, as he cuts into the knees of Teddy Baker, who created a couple of chances in that first half.
Although Teddy Baker and Brandon McManus are not on the score sheet, I thought their involvement was tremendous in the first 45. I mean, they got behind the ball, they did their work defensively, but then on the ball, they helped alleviate a lot of the pressure for their team playing out in possession. Now can you get on the ball higher up the field in those attacking third areas?
Pushed across, Hearts, long floater down that midfield stripe. Taken up. Kamara puts us back on the move. Rolled to the touchline and returned to the back line. Hearts taking their time. Trying to draw Texoma out of position almost as they keep it away from McManus. And Texoma playing way up against Portland, who goes forward now. Quick pinball down the sideline as their man is run down, and Beeler leaves the whistle hanging.
What a tackle there, and what an outlet here.
Quick feed forward is sent away initially before it's regathered by the Red River side. Long feed is set off immediately by the Hearts. Took a look at the halftime stats. Possession has been really equal. You know, the duels have been nearly 50% split as well. And so with all the numbers feeling so equal, even the energy and momentum on the pitch to some degree feels equal to me. I would say that Hearts have a bit of an edge on rushes down into that final third. Just, you know, I could be wrong. I'm willing to be wrong. Eric, where's the difference come from in a match that feels so equal and is so equal on paper?
No, I would agree with your last point right there, because you look at the numbers. Yes, 9 shots for Hearts of Pine, and we mentioned only 1 on goal, but 6 of those 9 shots have been inside the penalty box, and that means that they're getting themselves in some positive situations. I mean, you're finding areas in and around Javier Garcia's box. You just need to be able to make that final decision and that final action, whether it's pulling the trigger just a bit quicker or finding that upgraded pass, or even just creating some of that channel. We talked about some of the willingness of this Portland Hearts of Pine team off the ball to open up spaces. That's going to be crucial here down the stretch in this second 45.
Quick pitch across, Texoma. McCormick's got a head of steam as it's tackled away. Down before he can reach that final third successfully. Center field circle, long winding pass and too much as he tries to feed that across to the right winger from Sierra Leone.
You almost see McCormick put his hands up like, what do I have to do to get a call? That first half, he gets that ball into space. He takes that touch a bit too far. Feels like Morse makes contact with him, and then there, and about 40 yards out, it's tackled and no call, but positive involvement, and that's what you want to see for both sides.
Quick pump, and at midfield, Hartz deliver this one carefully over the stripe. Wada pitched it into the air. Texoma rejects that. Rolled all the way to the back line, and Masashi returns it immediately. Green trying it across to the far touchline. Downfield go the Hearts on a long feed, and it's taken up by Texoma effortlessly. Calfo to Javier, and Garcia pitches this over the top. Battle for the ball. Taken away by the Hearts. Portland cutting into the area, deep in the 18, sidesteps. Ali Wright has it pitched away at the last moment. Hearts trying to regather as they disrupt, and blown dead by Beeler. Soccer season is here. SeatGeek is your official ticketing partner. They're the official ticketing partner of the USL. You can get all of your USL tickets and so much more from the #1 ticketing site. Visit SeatGeek today. It's your ticket to great seats.
And that sequence right there from Hearts of Pine is something that we did not see a lot of in the first 45. So you see heavier hints of it here. That drive, that dribble and drive out of midfield, because now you're asking defenders to commit, to challenge themselves in their decision-making and what they're doing. But again, Texoma up to the task in winning their battles inside the box, and that was something that Adrian Forbes had highlighted. In these closing weeks, it's gonna be about being brilliant at the basics. And I know that is maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but it is being good in some of those moments that it's clear what you need to do, but do it at a high level. And that's what Texoma has done thus far tonight.
It feels to me like Hearts are pitching this over the top rather than going long on top of the grass. They were going long on the grass to try and get that connection, that final pass. Now they're pitching it over the top for a foot race down into the wings. Fed up front, Texoma, long ball to the end line, and this one off the top of the net. Great chance, great opportunity. Hustles his way deep into the wing, and putting that one over the top. William Perkins, who's already scored a goal this year, just can't quite put that one inside of the stick.
And that late arriving run in that wide area catches Hearts of Pine a bit unbalanced there. You earn another corner kick, and Ozzy Ramos has been quite effective with these left-footed deliveries as he's been this season.
Ramos delivers short. This one knotted straight up into the air and knocked away. Kept rolling by the Hearts as they clear this one entirely. Another excellent defensive stand down in that final third. Portland getting everything to go their way down there as Texoma has done an excellent job of countering.
I think if there was an area that Adrian Forbes and this group would be slightly disappointed with, is some of those set pieces, not even the delivery, because I just mentioned Ozzy Ramos has been consistent with where and the space that he's accessing, but kind of some of the ruthlessness in the movement and the actions in and around the ball. That's where you want to live. You want to live in that opportunistic mindset, especially when you can put the numbers in a dangerous area and you are in a situation where #1 priority is be structured defensively for the complete 90. Make Portland Hearts of Pine break you down, make it difficult. Even when they break a line of pressure, get numbers behind the ball, slim the channels, make them have to play an extra pass, and they've done that thus far.
Cuts to the inside, and the floater nodded away. Hammered through traffic, and this one knocked off. Well done down inside. Sean Vinberg parked right in the way and able to knock that one over the end line. It'll be a set piece for Ozzy Ramos and this Texoma side. Watch this again. Great drive. Luke McCormick sent it in. And another chance as Ramos blasted that. You can see Vinberg just gently brushes that off. Vinberg, the Long Island, New York native, he's been great. Played in Mongolia, then Germany. Comes back to the East Coast of the States. And a huge piece this season for the Hearts. Having a good time down there in the corner. These two are laughing it up. Ramos is waiting for Beeler to finish. Quite the political discussion down inside. Trying to get these guys to behave. Huge crowd in Portland. Now for the set piece. Prime chance for Texoma. Long delivery, knotted, and this one sails on him for goal kick. Ramos just couldn't put that between the sticks. And another corner coming as that one's last touched by Portland. They push it off intentionally.
Yeah, they get that slightest deflection. Texoma earns another corner, and it looks like you're going to get delivery from Teddy Baker.
Teddy Baker had a great collegiate career. Baker bends it long. This one rattled around and goes off. Last touched by Texoma. Huge crowd turned out tonight inside of Fitzpatrick. Nearly 6,000 fans. Your attendance, 5,781 fans on hand for this USL One brawl.
So special to see what this club, this organization, and this community have cultivated. And you see it game in, game out. And I'll go back to what we mentioned in the first half, what Bobby Murphy brought up, the relationship that these fans have, not only with the team and the team have with them, but how involved they get in matches.
Rolled into the final third. Washington trying to send that out front, and there's 3 defenders there. It's going to be a corner and a set piece opportunity for Ollie Wright and company. Tom's the main corner kick coming momentarily. This one's delivered quickly. Long bend, down for the spot. Garcia flashes the gloves. Look out. And Beeler comes with the yellow immediately for Titus Washington. He looks floored, to be honest. Washington suffers his 5th yellow of the season.
Yeah, it's one of those plays that you know, effort-wise, you're just trying to slow your opponent down, but you also know that if you make any sort of contact on that delivery from Javier Garcia, you are getting a yellow card right away. So something that puts him in a position where he's got to be a bit more measured here the rest of the way, because he is a physical attacking presence.
Beeler just looked beside himself. I love the expression on the face of the referee. Couldn't believe it. We've almost played 1 hour between these two sides now.
It's like he gave me no choice.
Yeah, why would you do that, he says. Throw in coming quickly. Hearts flip fields immediately off of the kick by Garcia. Ollie Wright, quick dribble, gets it right back. Finesse that across. Michel battles it through and blown dead. Texoma a bit too much. Beeler wants him to kick from that spot. Mikey Lopez will do the honors. Back to Michel. Kept away momentarily from McManus. We've already played a quarter of an hour in our second half and still somehow deadlocked and scoreless in what has been a track meet inside of Fitzpatrick. Aerial feed, knotted away. Javier Garcia collects this.
There's 2 things that kind of jump into my mind as this second half plays out. For Texoma defensively, being cautious of, as the minutes tick away, how quickly you retreat into your own box. Because right now you are defending with everything. You are collective in everything you're doing. You're getting behind the ball in big moments, but also finding that delicate balance between doing that and also finding yourself right in front of Javier Garcia on that first break of pressure. So you don't want to retreat too early, because then you're just inviting everything. So you do want to find that balance. And then for both teams, what do changes look like from Bobby Murphy and Adrian Forbes? What are they seeing down the stretch here that tilts this match, come in and make a positive impact? Where and what areas do they kind of identify moving forward?
You mentioned the goal differential for these two in that first half. +9 for the Hearts of Pine. They've scored very prolifically this season. They've been very efficient. Texoma has allowed a lot of scores. You have to think that the cracks are going to have to start to show in these two sides. The records tell a very different story. Texoma has come, this Red River side has brought it all today. We talked about how crucial these points could be, would be for them. They need to get them. And they've done everything in their power to secure 3 on the road. They've done everything right. Back line, Reed Valentine. Floated over and knotted away initially by Messer. Regathered. Texoma can't stay with it. Great breakup by the Hearts. Portland down the sideline. Masashi. Wada pitches it long, and this will roll back to Javier Garcia. He'll take over. Titus Washington right up there.
And this is twofold, because this is where Texoma has lived. They have done a good job of winning and influencing those second and third actions defensively. They've gotten broken, but they have not been broken. They have been able to relieve some of the pressure and that big line be available, but they've been able to get back behind the ball. They've been able to slow some of that positive momentum from Hearts of Pine offensively. But for Hearts of Pine, now can you find another gear on the ball? Can you find another run? Maybe it's that third run, that far side runner that gets involved, because right there it was just Titus Washington and that was it. You broke pressure. You had the intent to go forward at pace, but you only had really 1 or 2 runners, if that, going forward. So now that commitment, and what does that look like for Hearts of Pine?
Pushed away initially, fed back towards the area. On top of it, Muhammad. Fed out front to Michel. Walks his way down towards the final third. Baker there defensively. Floater is knotted up into the air. A chance for Kamara, who regathers. The man from Sierra Leone hits the e-brake, trying to stay on top of the ball on the edge of the area. Turning about and finally feeds it inside, but the header off the mark, and this goes off over the end line for goal kick. The Hearts create another chance and just can't string something together. Can't watch the match? You can listen to it. Turn on Sirius XM FC 157. It's North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights and so much more. You can hear live matches from the USL, MLS Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157, and of course the new Sirius XM app. Texoma fighting their way down into that final third themselves now. Luke McCormick in a little bit of a battle near the touchline. This will come back onto the field with the Hearts. Knotted through initially. The whistle immediately is Reed Valentine right there with Titus Washington. Washington involved in that little skirmish. He's already suffered his 5th yellow card of the season today. Muhammad flicked to Vinberg, the back line of Portland. Hearts pushed across, right out front. Kamar cutting his way to the penalty arc, and this one sauced over the top long. I mentioned during the pregame what a long swing this is for Texoma. They played Westchester on Sunday, so just 6 days later, here on the East Coast, now battling Portland. Coach, you spent so much time involved with the beautiful game yourself. Talk to me about those long road trips. Does it take a toll? You know, I specifically said I think we might see that take a toll on them in the final 20. Does it not seem like that's going to happen? They feel very energized to me.
Yeah, they seem that way, and that's what you like from this group thus far. But yes, you have a clear eye on pretty much this minute on. You want to see how your players are getting behind the ball. A lot of initial actions when the ball is out of play. Who's quick to get to their spots? Because that's, as this game wears on, that's going to be the key aspect. Is can you hit your spots early and often, and do it at a high clip, and do it at a clip that influences this game in a positive way, and that's what keeps you on the field. And when you have a road trip like you just said, and a lot of the opponents and a lot of the fatigue of having to make this playoff push, it's later in games you see some of that fatigue, and it's not just physical fatigue, it's mental fatigue. It's not picking up a runner, losing track of a runner, maybe being late to hit a pocket of space. So that's going to be something that Adrian Forbes, his coaching staff, are just going to be wary of. We see some changes for Hearts of Pine.
Walter Varela, central midfielder from Cape Verde's, come on. Nathaniel James as well, the midfielder from Trinidad and Tobago. This one knocked back out front. Dead on from the penalty arc. Fires a blast over the top, and this sails long. Michel puts some authority on that one.
And you just see the numbers that Hearts of Pine are attacking with. I mean, there are 5+ numbers in and around the Texoma box.
Still deadlocked and scoreless between these two sides as it's sent long. Garcia's ball knotted around at midfield. And the volley comes to a stop with a whistle by Beeler. Too much contact for his liking. Hopefully Texoma's man is all right. Beeler's going to check on him. He's seated up right now, and we'll get a hand back onto his studs. JP Jordan II looks like he's good to go. Adrian's got some words for his side. Coach has got his club hanging with the Hearts of Pine, who are unbeaten for almost 60 days straight, dating back nearly 2 full months now. I mean, we're within hours of it being 2 full months. This match would push them to a 2-month unbeaten streak. Knotted on the edge of the 18, pushed away. Hearts able to control possession and get this out toward midfield. Great couple of boots. This one sent long. Opportunity coming together for the Hearts of Pine. Dribble, dribble, dribble down the front of the 18-yard box. Left off on the penalty arc, hammered back. Hearts brush this down inside. Floater and Garcia. Flash those gloves, Javier. What a save.
There are a lot of various actions to deal with. If you're Javier Garcia, we see a lot of bodies in front of you and have had to deal with the change of trajectory throughout.
That's a great save.
Dare to say he's going to have to make another 1 or 2 of those.
Maybe right here. Hearts get it through. James cuts to the left, looking for space, fired to the right, and it goes just wide. What an opportunity for the Hearts. Back-to-back trips into the final third. Natty James, the man who came from Mount Pleasant FA in Jamaica's Premier League. Great shot. I think Javier might have disrupted that. I can't tell if that was touched or not.
Yeah, you follow up a save like that and you're quick off your line. You make the shooting channel narrow. You make it difficult for James to pick what side of frame he wants to go and attack. you just have to enjoy how electric this Hearts of Pine side are offensively. Their commitment to play forward and their decisiveness on the ball. Just have to enjoy it. We go back to the freedom that Bobby Murphy talked to us about. Freedom for his players to make those decisions and really showcase and highlight what they do so well on the ball. He also highlighted, we mentioned this unbeaten run and how well this team has played. It's highlighted to us that staying in the moment and being present was key for this side.
Went around Beeler. James tries to push it through, and it's disrupted immediately by Calfo. Long pitch, 18. Disrupted again, and on the penalty arc, Texoma takes it away. Great snipe of the ball as they're on the move now. Texoma tries to hit the brakes and loses it. McCormick will return this to the center field stripe.
And you can see McManus trying to stretch that back line. Tried to pull out of that run just in time for McCormick to play in, but well read from Hearts of Pine.
Long pitch into the wing. Texoma not quite able to get to that as he goes down. Eric, do you have a cell phone?
A cell phone?
Yeah, you have a cell phone?
Yeah.
Do you have eFootball?
I will now.
You better get eFootball right now. Download eFootball. It's here. You can live your dream and rep your team. Play as your favorite USL club. eFootball, free to play, free to download. Get it today.
I'm in. Select soccer balls, eFootball. Being a longtime college coach, I'm very fortunate to have a partnership with Select, and they were tremendous within our conference and the national stage, and so many tremendous things going around the USL. Obviously, this fan base being a big part of that as well.
5,700 in the stands. A league that has just continued to explode. The structure is so positive, and our player to watch is still down. Hoping to get some good news for him. Brandon McManus from Louisville, Kentucky. You know, he was the 2018-2019 Gatorade Kentucky Boys Soccer Player of the Year. Starred at Trinity High School. Played collegiately for the Cardinals at Louisville. 8 goals. Over 50 appearances, and at just 23 years old, joining up with Texoma.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have not seen too many moments tonight, just because of how well Hearts of Pine are protecting their goal, but McManus so clinical in front of goal. His ability to finish in a variety of different ways. Take from distance, he can wrap a ball around.
JP Jordan looks like he's back up and at it and good to go. '74th minute about to become the 75th, as we're still scoreless deadlock between Texoma and Portland in a match that has come down to the wire. Hearts airing it out, nodded away back to midfield. At the conclusion of our match, stay with all of the coverage of USL 1 as the table has gotten tight. Washington takes it away. Out front of the penalty arc, rope to the back door. Hearts end line, long ball finds the back of the net. 1-0, Hearts of Pine jump out in front at home over Texoma. Messer, a laser strike, his 4th goal of the season.
And it all starts with this terrific delay. Obviously well brought down from Washington, but ball played across. But just look, just a slight pause, lets Messer get into space, and he absolutely punishes this one past Javier Garcia. We knew those overloads in those half spaces were going to be crucial. But that hint of hold-up play, giving Messer the time and space and opportunity to hit that area of the field, he just absolutely unleashes one.
Beautiful score, and Bobby Murphy told us, hey guys, we've got to facilitate one another. That's his message to his club and training down this back stretch. That's why this unbeaten streak is looking like it might boil into a full 2 months for Portland. Unreal unselfishness, great sharing of the ball, perfectly delivered. The Town and Country goal made it 1-0. We've got a yellow card shown against the Hearts as Michel suffers then. It'll be his 5th yellow card of the season. Another look at what happened.
Looks like that forearm gets up there. Earned a yellow card shortly after scoring the goal. Still plenty of time for Texoma here. Get this free kick. Ozzy Ramos on it again as we see a change.
Lamine coming on for Jordan. He's from the Gambia. This is a long, long chance, but a prime chance nonetheless late in the 77th. Long floater, knotted up and gloved easily by Hunter Morse. The Michigan State Spartan gets on top of that. Taking his time, putting us back underway. Less than a quarter of an hour to play in regulation. How does the energy change? You're trailing 1-0. You let it up in the final leg of the match. You know, we talked about how they could get tired legs on this East Coast stanza. Ball is chipped away and rolls off over the touchline. How does your energy change in a late stage situation like this, trailing 1-0?
I feel like Texoma has been up to the task throughout the night. Obviously disappointed that they concede that goal, but still plenty of time to find the equalizer, and recognizing that you don't need quantity. You don't need 5 loaded shots. You just need quality. You need 1 or 2 good looks at goal, and you need to be clinical in that moment, but you still have plenty of time because you are playing for your playoff lives, and by no means is it defined by just this match, because you go home for 2 matches. You have AV Alta coming into town. You have Richmond Kickers coming into town. But can you pull a point from a match that you feel like you've played balanced in both boxes? You've absorbed pressure, but you've been there to deflect it. And chance creation is something that Adrian Forbes and his group have felt positive about. They feel like they've created a number of good looks throughout this season, and something that has been sustainable and consistent for them.
Since Messer scored his 4th of the season just 5 minutes ago, it feels like the Hearts have not been attacking. They're not countering as aggressively. It already feels like they've kind of drawn back into a shell. Does Bobby Murphy call for that here? Does he say, hey, we've got the goal lead, set back on your haunches?
I think human behavior kind of leads into that sometimes. I mean, obviously you have those game models where you're up a goal, down a goal, what looks like chasing a game, seeing a game out. But I just think naturally we always stress that first 5, next 5 after a goal. And I think that's what you're seeing. You're seeing this team make sure that not only they've set the temperature with scoring that goal, but now they can maintain the temperature and make sure that they don't allow Texoma to build any sort of momentum. Because when we talked to both these coaches this week, momentum is real, and you can build off of it in a lot of different ways. And that's where Hearts of Pine are being very selective in what Texoma can see and earn.
Tried to finesse that through. Texoma again. Ladled out front, finessed back to the wing and sent away from Mason. Muhammad hammered that one off. It'll be thrown in quickly by Spengler. Rolled backwards. Baker airs it out, and this one knotted away. Ollie Wright tries to play it over the top. Regathered by Texoma. Ollie Wright taking advantage as he is tackled to the turf. Beeler catching up and assesses the card immediately. He is pulled down by his kit.
And I know the crowd is obviously disappointed with this play, but it's the right play to make for Perkins. Obviously, they get broken down defensively. You have support on that far side with Valentine making sure that you do have the support and you're not picking up a direct red being the last player, last defender. But you got to make sure you don't concede a second goal, so had no choice but to slow that play down.
Law offices of Joe Bornstein yellow card assessed against Perkins, the man from Detroit, Michigan. Calfo was trying to take the ball away there and almost disrupted his teammate. Long feed. Danger for Texoma. And he's taken down deep in the 18 as we play on. Reed Valentine tackles it away and flips fields. Midfield. Finessed across for McCormick, who blows a tire and goes down.
And this is going to be the time that Texoma, Adrian Forbes, this group is going to lay it all out there. There's no, I mean, goal differential means nothing right now. If you lose this game 2-0, 1-0, there is no difference. So you are going to throw numbers and you're going to throw caution to the wind. So going back to the question you mentioned earlier for Hearts of Pine kind of absorbing and getting numbers behind the ball, they're going to kind of naturally be forced into that position with the numbers that Texoma is going to throw at them as we see more changes for Bobby Murphy's side.
Wright's coming off for Keegan, number 12. He's been great. Jake Keegan is originally from New York. We'll also see Patrick Langlois from Newcastle, Australia. A couple of great sets of legs late for the Hearts of Pine as we're pushing out of our 83rd into our 84th.
And Ollie Wright, terrific tonight. I mean, what a high quality player does, picking and choosing his moments and taking what the game gives you. Not every game is going to be written the same. Not every script is going to be presented to you and you'd be like, aha, that's exactly how I saw this play. It's going to throw different challenges at you, and Ollie Wright was up to every single challenge, had the assist on the goal, and that was just continuing to ask different questions.
Off the penalty arc, nodded away. Regathered Hearts. Might not be done yet midway through our 84th. Muhammad into the area. What a feed to James. He just can't quite collect as he's disrupted on the double team and sent off intentionally by Texoma. Couldn't agree more, though, about Ollie Wright. Ollie Wright down in that final third tonight. You're right, he took what the game gave him. He didn't try to take shots that weren't open. He didn't force opportunities. He was patient on the ball, and he handed it off when he needed to. Another change coming for Texoma this time. Going to see Mason come off in favor of Patrick, man from Chicago, Illinois. Stislovsky, 19 years old. 6th appearance ever for Texoma. Began his career with Cambridge United. Corner and set piece to come. Delivered, nodded over the top. Loose out on the penalty arc. This one fed down near the 6. Floated back inside, and Perkins clears it off. Jake Keegan, who just came into the match moments ago, a veteran from Greenville's Triumph. Longtime presence in USL 1. Down the touchline, battled away by Texoma, and they are playing with urgency. They can feel the need for points. Pushed forward, the Red River side, airs it out long, deep into the wing and cut off, where it's cleared away by Nathan Messer. Just a reminder, the USL Championship in League One on CBS Sports and ESPN all season long. Catch live matches, expert analysis every day on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Ball is knotted away. And ESPN Plus, you can go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for complete USL TV listings. Hearts get it through, and it is smacked back over the top by Garcia.
Yeah, but this scoreline holds. Texoma are going to be score watching the rest of the night, keeping a close eye on what South Georgia Tormenta do, what Union Omaha do, making sure that they're still within touching distance of those teams. And even if this result does stand, and obviously they're going to throw a lot and making sure it doesn't, but you host AV Alta, who's in and around the playoff line, so a team that you're chasing, but you can catch with that result. Richmond Kickers, same thing, sit below you in the playoff standings, but somebody that you need to get points from. And then at one Knox, and then at South Georgia Tormenta. So 4 matches that will heavily impact Texoma's outlook into getting into the playoffs.
Pinball all around and cleared away. Long feed down the touchline. Texoma tries to get around that final defender and completely loses it. Good opportunity comes together. Just can't find his way through traffic as we're into the final few moments of regulation between Portland and Texoma. How about this guy? Hunter Morse has faced everything that's come his way today. Not to downplay the incredible play by Garcia.
And he's made the saves that you need your goalkeeper to make in a tightly contested match. We felt like we were going to get a playoff type of match tonight, and we have.
Absolutely.
I mean, not even just from the environment and this incredible fan base and what the energy we get from that, but these two teams, you knew you were going to get the desperation from Texoma, and then obviously Hearts of Pine have just been in a run of form that have just been so collaborative and so progressive in how they've solved problems and have picked up results. They've done it in tightly contested matches. They've done it in forms of 5-2 wins, as they did a few weeks ago.
Rolled down the sideline. That form is going to be even more incredible if they can hold this result over the finish line. Their next time out is next Saturday at Union Omaha, 1 p.m. Eastern time kick. The last time they played to a loss, they've been unbeaten since August 2nd when they lost 1-0 in Knoxville. You can take that stretch and date it all the way back to July 2nd. That was the last time they lost before that. So only 2 losses since the start of July. Absolutely insane for the Hearts. Texoma form hasn't been quite as good. They've struggled their last 4. They're winless. They defeated Greenville 1-0 way back on August 23rd. Played to a draw against Spokane on September 13th. They really needed the points tonight. Next time out, they're going to host a pair of matches in a row between Texas and Oklahoma. Antelope Valley will visit, followed up by a visit from Richmond and the Kickers. And this one rolls down over the sideline. Popped up a couple of times. Floated down to the arc and nodded away. Regathered and rolled for the far touchline. Texoma putting the heat on late. Pushed forward to the 18, fired low, and this one covered by Morse. Hunter Morse makes the save late in our 90th minute of regulation.
Oh, and it's the save, but it's also the ability to make sure that he has this ball secure, because McManus was right there lurking for anything that spilled out. And just like the one he had in the first half, fighting through a lot of traffic, trying to keep track of where that ball was coming from.
And a dangerous amount of stoppage time for the Hearts. 6 minutes as it's just 1-0. Texoma, a lot of time to work with. From center field, going to air this out for the 18, and Morse flashes the gloves. Big in the late stages.
And we mentioned the run of form that Hearts of Pine have been on. Only 5 clean sheets this season in 23 games. So would dare to say that this is a team that feels like they've had some performances that have equated to some clean sheets, but have not been earned. And this is a match that maybe for Bobby Murphy and his side, they want to see this game fully out.
Absolutely, and earned would be an understatement. I think that this backside of the Hearts have played out of their minds. I think they've been fantastic. Washington coming off. Quite the day. In place of Washington, we'll see Vifa, the center forward. He's from Berkeley, California. On your screen, Brian Padilla, the left winger. He's been very successful, played for the Terrapins. Just signed with the club this year. Long feed over the top, knocked down into the wing. Drilled away with a header. Fired towards the net. Kind of a weak, winding look, and so it's easy to clear away for the Hearts. Their man is down. 2 minutes played of our 6 of stoppage time. Glad you're with us for USL One coverage. It's going to be a rocking night. You can find the full schedule online. USL League One. Very, very good layout as well. If you head to the homepage of the website, you can see the whole center for the weekend. It's a great match week around the league. Full coverage available on ESPN Plus of every match, and so many crucial points on the line in the table. And we're going to see a yellow for time wasting. And Morse says, come on. And Beeler also says, come on, but with a smile on his face. He says, I have to do it. You've been standing there for 60 seconds.
Yeah, and it's a yellow that goalkeepers will always gladly take, especially at this time of the match. You pick up the yellow, but you also see valuable time come off the clock.
Baker gets us started. Long feed for the corner. Bit of a foot race, but there's too much as it'll roll off into the Dashers. Excellent battle between these two. Mention what's coming up for Texoma, but just to revisit that, a couple of crucial ones in a row. AV Alta, Richmond. Hearts of Pine, different situation. Omaha, forward Madison, Knoxville. Lots of points still available to earn for Portland as well.
Yeah, they still have 6 matches left after this. They have that midweek that you brought up at Union Omaha. And then host forward Madison, and then at One Knox. So you like the form that they're in, but they are going to see some of these games stack upon themselves.
Texoma. Rolled over by Reed Valentine and knocked away by the Hearts. Center forward pursuing this. Noah can't get there in time. Texoma rolls this down the sideline. Quick cutback by McCormick. To the center field circle and left off. A little bit of green. Up the touchline towards the wing. Texoma tries to air it out, and Hunter Morse flashes the gloves again.
It's going to be so difficult because when you're in a results-driven business, moral victories just don't exist, but you have to like what Texoma did tonight. I mean, they challenged Hearts of Pine in a lot of different ways. Defensively, felt like they had that structure, minimized transition. They were committed collectively. They would have probably liked to see an uptick in chances created, but I thought the first half they had the chance from McManus that sailed over the crossbar. They had the chance from Teddy Baker as well. They had some opportunities sprinkled in there, but then you go to the other side for Portland Hearts of Pine, you see why they're in the run of form they're in. Because of the problem solving, because of the ability to make a play when it has to be made. And you see a lot of teams get frustrated when you create some chances that Hearts of Pine did tonight, but they just stuck to it. They just kept plugging away. They kept asking different questions in different areas, and it paid dividends. That overlapping run from Messer, the delay from Ollie Wright, and then that slipped ball in, obviously accompanied by a terrific finish.
And the crowd starting to get a little bit rowdy as they know we're halfway through an extra minute of stoppage time. They called for 6. We played 6.5. 1-0 Hearts. Might give Texoma time for one more rush. Knotted through from midfield. And this one sails off as we're blown dead in the final in Maine. The Hearts celebrating in style a 1-0 victory for Bobby Murphy and company.
You knew that we were going to see a tightly contested match. We knew that we were going to see punch, counter punch, and we got what we thought. And
Absolutely.
It was about making a big play, and Portland Hearts of Pine did just that. And you could see the clean sheet, what it meant to that collective, but great battle from Texoma as well.
And you said it perfectly. This is a results-driven business. It's a shame that you can't walk away with some good feelings about such a good performance. Our man of the match, Nathan Messer, for an electric play of the match. He absolutely hammered home the lone score of this one. Let's take another look back at this and relive it. Ball was put down to him perfectly and absolutely lasered through to find the back of the net. A beautiful score.
And he had some early involvement in this match. It just sputtered out in that first 45. But terrific play there and had eyes for goal all the way through.
And the save of the match, so many good ones to pick from. Both of these keepers played out of their minds. Hunter Morse, watch this, delivered right in front, and Morse goes down to keep the sheet clean, and he posts his 6th of the season.
And it's that momentum shifting save. I mean, Teddy Baker gets on the end of that. Big save by Morse.
1-0 going to be the final between the Portland Hearts of Pine and Texoma FC. We'll have highlights, stats, a full recap, and some final thoughts for you before we send you on your way. And we return with more Pro Side Soccer in USL 1, all on ESPN.
Partnership means a lot of things in this business, and that's the most important thing, is being in a business relationship with someone that you trust, and that's what Mimic does. We want to make sure that everyone is getting exactly what they need, and we want it to be a long-term relationship. At Mimic, we want to lower their total cost of risk, and we want to get those employees back to work whenever we can. At Mimic, we make workers' comp work better.
At PAPE, we've dedicated over 50 years to making sure you do better. That means better prices you can always count on. It means you'll find extensive inventory. It means you can expect top-notch service. And most of all, it means you'll work with a team that listens to what you need and makes it a priority. So why are we so driven to make sure you do better? Because at PAPE, the only thing we love more than cars is people.
Back in Fitzpatrick, where we've reached full time, the Hearts of Pine claiming a 1-0 victory over Texoma, and what was a thrilling battle right down to the wire. Eric and I are going to walk you through the highlights right now here on ESPN. Eric, let's walk this back from the very get and take a look at how this one unfolded.
And Texoma navigated what could have been a loud moment here, playing out of the back. Wada gets on the end of it, tries to clip it over Javier Garcia, but gets enough to parry this away. And out of danger, have to deal with the corner kick after this, but then Texoma started to build some momentum going forward. Found ways to break the line of pressure. This ball played in, and McCormick, it's just that final touch that gets away, trying to draw that foul for Morse. Doesn't get the call, but asked a lot of different questions in that first 45. And then the second 45, Hearts of Pine just flooded the box, were very collective in their movement. This ball laid off to Messer, and he just absolutely thrashes this into the back of the goal. Ollie Wright, good delay, good layoff. And that's the goal that ends up being the difference. We knew that it was going to be a play out there. It was going to be about which team made it.
A quick look at the table before we send you on your way. Red Wolves, Union Omaha, FC Naples, Antelope Valley, South Georgia, Richmond, Spokane, and Greenville all play tonight. USLLeague1.com. Go to schedule and click on to watch to find all of those matches on ESPN+. Your brief thoughts on these incredible standings.
For Portland Hearts of Pine, exactly what you wanted to do tonight. You wanted to put pressure on FC Naples.
And the highlights are gone. This is a look at your table. Now the stats from tonight's matchup between these two sides. Portland and Texoma battled without 1-0 your final score. Look at those shots, 19-9, that's wild.
Yeah, 9 of those inside the box for Hearts of Pine. Possession numbers ended up evening out just a bit more. Obviously, Texoma did see quite a bit of it towards the end because Hearts of Pine were looking to see this game out. But good problem solving from Bobby Murphy's group. And overall, solid performance from Adrian Forbes' group. Can they regroup from tonight? And they have 4 big matches coming up.
Big matchups coming up for these two sides as they try to claim crucial points. An electric matchup in front of 5,781 of the closest friends of the Portland Hearts of Pine tonight. They take the 1-0 victory over Texoma FC in thrilling USL 1 action. We'll catch you next time on ESPN. For our crew, both clubs, all the fans, and Eric Dobransky, I'm Gabriel Schrei saying so long from inside of the Fitzpatrick.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.